Welcome back to the show. Trump has selected Robert F. Kennedy Jr. as the new Secretary of Health and Human Services. This is what he had to say. I am thrilled to announce Robert F. Kennedy Jr. as the United States Secretary of Health and Human Services. For too long, Americans have been crushed by the industrial food complex and drug companies who have engaged in deception, misinformation, and disinformation when it comes to public health. From this, we're expecting tons of changes for the better. Kathleen Sebelius, who has served as Secretary of the Health and Human Services Department under former President Obama, warned that RFK Jr. taking her old position could end up killing people.
Your thoughts on RFK Jr.'s nomination and how dangerous would he be as Secretary of Health and Human Services?
Well, I just listened to Congressman Ivey, and I think that we're talking about magnitudes of danger beyond erroneously making legal decisions. This is life or death.
So trying to make America healthy again will kill people. I got it. Joining me now to discuss RFK Jr.'s potential plans and other healthcare policies we could see rolling out from the Trump administration is National Organizing Director for America Values PAC 2024, RFK Jr. Super PAC, Larry Sharpe.
Hey, good to be here as always. And this woman makes me want to scream a little bit here, Stacy, to be forward. She is right now over an agency that has watched the average age of Americans' lifespan go down for the past 20 years. 2004, the NIH came up with a stat that said America was in trouble. We're having a health crisis. So for the past 20 years, what have they done? Nothing. They have failed. There are over 1,000 different things that are in Americans' food that are not in European food. We are 48th when it comes to life expectancy of all the countries, right above Estonia. That is how good we are, and she's responsible for that. And she has the goal to say that, oh my God, him coming aboard, changing things might make things worse. They're already terrible, and she's the one in charge of terribleness. She doesn't want him to come on board because things will get better, and she'll look terrible, and she will be absolutely shown for the fraud that she is.
Yeah, and I join you in the outrage. I felt like when I was watching her there, I just wanted to, you just want to punch something because there are toddlers with fatty liver disease.
Yes.
40% of Americans are obese, and the food that we eat contributes to it. It's not, obviously, Americans aren't as active as we used to be. We have a sedentary, technologically based culture.
Yes.
Let's admit that. That's not the government's fault. But the food itself, so the Europeans are not as fat as Americans. They have a diet of pretty much the same, like they're living on the same earth. They can eat tomatoes and whatever. But because they don't have a focus on processed foods, because they go to the grocery store to, a market 2 or 3 times a week, they walk there. They have afternoon siestas where they have to get up and move and go make their, they run all their errands on foot instead of a car-based culture. There's so much about American culture that's amazing. And I don't want to complain. I don't want people to think I don't love it here. I do. I could live anywhere. I love America. But let's face it, some of these things are government driven. And the food content of the processed foods, this is HHS. This is the FDA.
100%.
Why don't they just change the standards? They're actually fear-mongering over RFK Jr., who is, let's face it, a based 70-plus-year-old stud. He's got more muscle mass than most members of Congress. He's doing
making me look bad.
Right. I mean, both of us. I got to get in the gym.
Yeah, absolutely.
I got to get in the gym. I got to get in there.
Yes,
yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, so you can't look at him and say, well, he shouldn't be advising us on health. He looks amazing. He's healthy.
But I got to go further than that, right? She's getting her cash from big ag, from big pharma, and it's her job to crush small farms. In Europe, you can get farm to table like that. In most countries, you can. In America, you can't. They go out of the way to stop that. You don't know where your food comes from. In fact, your food probably comes from some massive manufactured plant someplace that has all kind of stuff in it that you don't want to have in it, right? And she knows that. That's the problem. That's where she gets her money from. Now, Bobby Kennedy Jr., not only is he a stud, which he is, but on top of it, he has spent his lifetime suing these people. He knows exactly where they live. He knows exactly how to hit them. He knows exactly how to stop them. If anyone's going to break 3 things he has to do, right? And he's in a perfect spot to do it. 1, break the connection between big agriculture and the government. Number 2, break the connection between big pharma and government. And number 3, support local small farmers. Those are the 3 things he has to focus on. He's in the perfect spot to do this. Those are all against what this other woman's talking about. That hurts her. Small farmers get in her way, so she doesn't like them. Big ag and big pharma, they pay her salary. So that's what she wants. She is exact opposite of what Kennedy is. Kennedy has fought them. He has won. He is exactly the right person to do this. And he's a stud. So we got all of that.
I mean, yeah, we can't deny that during the campaign when he was putting out videos on his social media, doing pull-ups and working out, at his age, that's not the normal look for someone who's in their 70s in America. It could be. I mean, it's all a personal choice. We admit that. But there is a cultural phenomenon, and it impacts us in every way. There are a lot of things about Americans. We grow up, this is the soup we're in. This is the flavor of us, right? And so if a healthy culture becomes the soup we're in, then more Americans would be healthy. And
But we have to go one spot further, though, here.
Yeah.
And this is, right, look, we got to pay our bills. We got to eat. And the government makes it by subsidizing big agriculture and big pharma. It becomes cheaper for Americans to buy less healthy food. That's the key. When I got to pay bills, I got to eat. I got to feed my family. I'm saying, oh, this food's healthier, but I got my light bill. What am I going to do, right? So I got my energy bill. We've made it to where we subsidize corn. We subsidize soy. We subsidize the food. And the government's been telling us for years, eat more bread. That's the right thing. Tons of bread, just eat bread. So they're throwing this stuff at us to do this. They're making us work 2-3 jobs so we don't have time to cook at home. The system is hurting us. And what I'm saying is, break that system. Stop subsidizing these things so that people can look at it and go, I have healthier choices that don't cost me my rent. I think that's one of the issues also. We also have to make a system to where the government isn't supporting bad food. And right now it is.
It is. And then, of course, there's the bigger deal for Americans, which is because we're so divided, this will be propagandized. So it'll be, it's RFK Jr. He's a quote unquote right winger now, when the man hasn't changed any of his policies. He's really pretty on the left when it comes to politics. But for the MAHA movement, it's about health, which is not a right or left-sided thing. And so I want to see him actually have what he's talking about go out to everyone, because a lot of people on the left are very healthy. They watch their food, they exercise. Yes. That's not a right-left thing, being healthy or unhealthy. You find all of the spectrum on both sides, and in apolitical people who are, farm to table, or they're, full processed 100% and they're overweight. This is not a left-right issue. As we close out here, tell me what you would say, we have about 30 seconds, to anybody who's hearing from RFK.
Look, the reality of it is he doesn't want to take anything away. What he wants to is give you choice, more choice, fairer choice, no choice subsidized by the government. So if you want to pick more processed food, you may. You want to pick your medicines, you may. You want to pick this kind of food, you may. Instead of the government deciding what's right based upon cash they get from big ag and big pharma. That's the key.
So good. Larry Sharpe, National Organizing Director for American Values 2024, the RFK Jr. Super PAC. Thank you, friend. See you soon.
Good seeing you.